So I'd like to give a very big hand for you can recognize them by the yellow and white. And they today, this afternoon, we had the special inauguration ceremony for the February Teachers Training course. And by God's grace, 22 brave souls are embarking on this sacred journey of this 4 weeks of training in the teachings and practices of yoga and Vedanta, following the special course that was given to us by Swami Vishnudevananda ji. So we are very happy for them to begin, and they will be here for the next 4 weeks going for the special immersion into the yogic life. So tonight we continue the special program that we started this morning with Swamini Svatmavidyananda Saraswati. So we'd like to give Swamini ji a very warm welcome. And we'd like to introduce Swamini Svatmavidyananda Saraswati, who is a long-time disciple of Puja Sri Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji, one of the great masters of Vedanta in contemporary times. Swamini ji is the Acharya of the Ashram Vijnana Gurukulam, an ashram based in Atlanta, Georgia, and Eugene, Oregon. Swamini ji has been active in the interfaith movement, leading and featuring in prominent international dialogues on religious diversity, harmony, peace, and mutual respect among various religious traditions. Swamini ji splits her time between serving as a resident teacher in the Swami Dayananda Ashram and traveling internationally offering talks and retreats. Swamini ji is the author of books such as Freedom from Distrust and Overcoming Self-Sabotage in the Spiritual Growth, and contemplation card set entitled Musing on Oneness. And Swamini ji is here with us for the upcoming about 5-6 days, leading teachings in the morning and evening satsangs on the subject of redefining one's identity, contemplative verses on the truth of the self from the Nirvana Shatakam of Adi Shankaracharya. And also from tomorrow, Swamini ji will be offering midday workshops, teachings on the Bhaja Govindam, another important text by Adi Shankaracharya, and also offering sessions of question and answers. So Swamini ji will be very busy in the upcoming days, but we're very grateful for her being here and for sharing her knowledge with everybody here at the ashram. So let us give a very big hand to Swamini Svatmavidyananda Saraswati.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Where we left off this morning, just to bring us to par, to summarize a little bit, talking about the pursuits in life and how the pursuits keep one occupied completely, spinning, because no matter how much one pursues Artha Kama, we saw what that was, Artha, security, kama, various kinds of pleasures that are designed supposedly to make one happy. The more one pursues this, the more one is against a wall, because whatever I pursue is finite and what I am seeking is what? Infinite. If the infinite is a matter of pursuit, then it becomes very easy. I can become a seeker of the infinite. But if this is not understood, then I become an infinite seeker. This is the problem. You see, there's a big difference between being an infinite seeker, meaning the quest is never coming to an end, or being the seeker of the infinite. This is where one has to rebrand oneself. So we talked about that. We also talked about Dvau hi padarthau atma anatmano. There are only two kinds of things, entities in the world. The one I refer to by the word I, aham, and the rest is what? Not I. Not I. Not I and I. So, and it's a very funny and a very arbitrary distinction. What is this? I. What is in between here? Not I. Very strange. Again, this is I, not I, not I. Very strange. Extremely strange. No wonder it is confusing. So therefore, we can say from this that there are two kinds of cognitions. The first cognition is called aham pratyaya vishaya, aham pratyaya gochara, I cognition. And then the rest of it is what? This cognition. Everything that I refer to by the preposition this, idam pratyaya gochara. This mic, this computer, this table, this lamp, this or that. Sometimes if things are far away, I can say that fan over there, that light, that house, that tree. So this and that. If anybody asks you, what did you study in the satsang? You can say this and that. Okay? Yeah. So, that's what it is. So there is objects of this cognition. This, that, and this one and the same in this respect. Idam pratyaya, this cognition, objects of this cognition. And then there is the subject, because I am not an object. The subject of I cognition, aham pratyaya. And the two really cannot be mixed up even if you try. You cannot mix it up. I don't say, I am this mic. Can I say that? No. Unless something is wrong here. Yeah, if I start saying that, you will say, she was okay in the morning, God knows what happened now. So, I won't say I am this mic, I won't say I am this chair. So this cognition is completely separate from I cognition. Totally. In my mind, I don't say, I am my house. Nobody says that. Nobody says, I am the cat, I am my dog, I am my cat. I am everything that I own. No. The I cognition is separate, reserved for I alone, and this cognition refers to all the things in Ishvara Srishti, in Bhagavan's creation, in God's creation. This cognition, this. Even though the this cognition and the I cognition are really separate, by some kind of a strange mechanism, due to self-ignorance, they often get mixed up. This cognition and I cognition do get mixed up. Because this cognition, the I cognition is only one of a kind. You see that there is really no possibility for mix-up. How many eyes are there? Not eyes, okay? I. Only one eye. That's all. Only one eye. And how many objects of this cognition exist? So many objects, one subject. And everything in the universe becomes, which is part of this cognition, becomes evident to me. Microphone evident to me, computer evident to me, speaker evident to me, other bodies in the room evident to me, light, fan evident to me. Very important question. Who am I evident to? Huh? We can ask a simple question to get this answer. Are you here? You are scaring me. Are you here? Yes. So you didn't have to ask anybody. I hope not. Am I here? You don't have to ask. It is what we call swatas siddha vastu, self-evident I. Self-evident entity, self-luminous entity, self-effulgent entity, many words are used. Meaning everything becomes evident to me. And who do I become evident to? Myself alone. I know I am, I know this is, whatever the adjective qualifying the word this is. Everything becomes evident to me. So therefore, the I cognition and the this cognition, there is a very big difference. We can see this very, very clearly. The this cognition, everything that is referred to by the word this is an object. I is the cognizer, the subject. You see the difference? I am the cognizer and everything else is cognized. The mic is not able to say, I am Mike. I am Mike. It's not able to say. Thank God. Otherwise it will say, I also have some thoughts on Yoga Sutras. I also want to say a few things. Why should I listen to you? It may say that. Certain things do not have opinions. Certain things do not have a subtle body. Sukshma Sharira is not there. And therefore they are unable to express the Satchidanandatvam which is there, all pervasive in the universe. But I alone have to cognize this, the objects of this cognition. I name them, I give life to them, so to speak. They become evident to me. But I don't become evident to any other power in the universe. I am that power to which everything becomes evident, and I am what is called self-evident. So the self-evident I is called the cognizer, the sakshi, the observer. And then everything else belonging to this cognition is that which is cognized, observed. The two cannot be confused. Yet, Adi Shankara points out, in the commentary to the Brahma Sutra, he points out that somehow the objects of this cognition and I cognition do get mixed up because of Atma Ajnanam, self-ignorance. Even though I cognition and this cognition are so different, tamaf prakashavat viruddha swabhavayoho, they have oppositional opposite qualities, opposite dharmas. One, it is like light and darkness. The light and darkness cannot get mixed up. You cannot confuse light for darkness or darkness for light, and they cannot coexist in the same place, and you cannot mix them up. Just like that, I cognition and what we call this cognition are completely different. Yet the mix-up takes place in very innocuous ways, but the mix-up does take place. I go for a walk and I see somebody walking their dog. Nice dog, I say. And the person says, thank you, thank you. Dog doesn't say thank you. Who says thank you? Person says thank you. Sometimes I won't say nice dog, sometimes I'll say nice t-shirt. And what does the t-shirt say? Nothing. What does the person say? Thank you. I did not compliment the person. I had no intention of complimenting the person. I did not say this t-shirt looks nice on you. Did I say that? No. What did I say? Nice t-shirt. Nice t-shirt. And who answers? Who takes the credit? The person takes the credit. You see this, what is the t-shirt? Object of this cognition. What is the dog? Object of this cognition from the standpoint of the body, mind, sense complex of the dog. But then, who is the one who owns this up as not just mine, but I t-shirt, I dog. First it is my house, after a while what happens? I house. This is the problem. And this is a recipe for samsara. What is samsara? Some sorrow or the other, all the time. That is the definition of samsara. Complaints, sorrows, complexes, confusion. This is the confusion. This is the basic confusion. This is the fundamental confusion which drives one to become mental. That is why it is called fundamental. If it is not removed, one becomes mental. This is what happens. This is the fundamental confusion, and we don't even know how this confusion happens, because even though the this and the I are two different things, one is self-evident, the other one is inert, and somehow the one gets confused for the other. And so, this is why the separation needs to happen. This is all what Vedanta Shastra is about. It is about separating this cognition from I cognition, and in this separation, removing this confusion, because of which the body dharma becomes my dharma. Body qualities become my qualities. I am fat, I am thin, and then what? Prana qualities become my qualities. I am restless, I am hyperventilating, and then what? The qualities of the mind also become my qualities. Mind is an object of this cognition, but the mind becomes I am sad. Same thing, like this, one keeps getting caught in this confusion. And therefore this work attributed to Adi Shankara, because in the tradition, many things are attributed to Adi Shankara, since he was a bright comet acharya in the tradition that whose works are still available to us today. And it could have been any Shankaracharya writing, but then it doesn't matter to us. If it is attributed to Adi Shankara, it was because many times we never had, even now we don't have the concept of intellectual property right. You write your name on it and you put a little C with a circle on it. What is that? Copyright, yes. We don't have that. Intellectual copyrights did not exist in ancient India. And it was attributed to an elder, Adi Shankara. It was just put Adi Shankara so many times. And to us it does not matter, because the point of the study of this and other texts is gaining freedom from this confusion, not trying to count who wrote it and what are the stylistic differences between this work and that work. That does not concern us so much, because our focus is different. Our focus is not an academic analysis. Our focus is to be free. Our focus is to be free of seeking something or the other all the time and driving ourselves crazy. This is our focus. And so therefore, it doesn't matter who wrote it. And there is also a story associated with it. And it's nice to enjoy the Akhyayika story, because the story makes the text come alive. Adi Shankara was a small boy, not even 8 years old, and he was swimming in the river, the story goes, and a crocodile catches hold of his leg. The small boy's leg is held by a crocodile, and just the river is turning into a river of blood. Everybody is worried. The crocodile doesn't let go. The mother is summoned. The mother comes running. Everybody is praying. Everybody is upset. Adi Shankara says, he was always fond of renouncing the world, and he said, if you let me become a sannyasi, mom, the crocodile is going to leave me. I know that this is what's going to happen. And so the mother, she's desperate herself, and the boy's life is in danger. So she says, yes, you can become a sannyasi, because you can't become a sannyasi without taking the mother's permission. The mother has given birth to you, and you have to take the spouse's permission, and any dependent children, they also have to be consulted and their blessings got. So here he asks the mother says, yes. The crocodile immediately leaves the leg. The child is pulled out of the water, and then the leg is bandaged, and the mother said, better come home and take some rest. I'll make you some food, eat. He says, what home? I don't have a home. What do you mean you don't have a home? We live over there. No. I'm a sannyasi now. I can't go back home. She says, what? I just said that for the crocodile, not for you. That was meant for the crocodile, so that it would leave you. She says, no. Once the word is given from the mouth, I have to stand true to that. And you gave your word, so I have to leave. The mother is very distraught, but he makes her a promise. He says, whenever you think of me, when you need me, I'll come back. I'll come back in your last days. He promises her that. And then this little boy from Kerala goes to cross 4 or 5 states in India, up to Madhya Pradesh, maybe Jharkhand now, we don't know, where he finds his guru in an ashram. Swami Govindapada is the name of the guru. And he approaches him. In those days, it's all open air. The Swami is sitting there giving some discourse. He waits respectfully till the talk is over and goes and falls at the feet and prays to be accepted as a disciple. And then apparently, this is how the story goes, that the Swami asks him, who are you, O child? And he introduces himself in this manner. This is through this particular text, which was composed extempore. And let us then, with this introduction, look at this text and see how it will help us to redefine this confusion between the I cognition and the discognition which is the cause of all sorrow. Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham na cha shrotra jihve na cha ghrana netre na cha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayuhu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Yeah. Very strange introduction, especially seen from the modern days. Like I said in the morning, if somebody asks you to introduce yourself, you don't begin by saying, I am not this room, I am not the tree, I am not the wind that blows, I am not the earth, I am not the ceiling, I am not the floor. One doesn't begin like that. One begins with all the accoutrements to the I which one has taken for granted as I myself. But here this is a very innovative and creative introduction to show that baby Adi Shankara had already thought about all this. Very beautiful. So he says, I am not the following things. Manaha na aham. What is manaha? Mind. Buddhihi na aham. I am not the intellect, the faculty. In the Shastra, we make a small difference between manaha and buddhi. Manaha means the faculty of the mind that is vacillating in nature. I am here, but then I don't know if I locked the door of my room or not. Yeah. Did I lock? I think I locked. But did I lock? I don't remember locking. This is called manaha, mind. Buddhi, nishchayatmika buddhi. Buddhi means the intellect, the faculty of the intellect that is in charge of making decisions. Yes, I am going to TTC and that is it. No more going back and forth. This is buddhi, okay? This is buddhi, manaha, buddhi. And then we have chittam. Chittam, the faculty of recollection of which memories are made. Chittam. Chittam also emotional faculty, the emotive faculty, which has the storehouse of feelings and the unconscious mind. All this is chittam. Then finally, the one who owns up all these things. What is that? Ahankara, ego, I notion, the one who says, this is my mind, this is me, this is me, this is me. This ahankara is like the hero of the show. So the first line says, I am not any of them. We'll take a little trip to the Keno Upanishad. It is very relevant because there in the Keno Upanishad, the student who is highly evolved has a very interesting question. Keneshitam preshitam patati manaha. How is this? How do the thoughts fall into the mind? Impelled by whom? Compelled by whom do the thoughts fall into the mind? How do the thoughts arrange themselves? What makes the eyes see? What makes the ears hear? What makes the mind think? And is there some kind of an effulgent force because of whose presence the eyes function in this way, the mind functions in this way, the ears function in this way? Very, very interesting question, very deep and thoughtful question. That is the opening verse of the opening mantras of the Keno Upanishad. And the teacher, here neither the student nor the teachers are named, but the teacher is there because the teacher answers. Who is the one who is responsible for sight? The teacher says, it's not the eye, but it's the eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, because of which all these activities take place. This is again a lot of food for thought, and in a way very comforting, because I take myself to be the hearer, seer, thinker, etc. But then, through this teaching of the teacher in the Kenopanishad, we come to see an important detail, a very, very, very important detail. And what is that important detail? That the eyes, the organ called the eyes, do not really see. Otherwise, the dead person's eyes will be looking. They don't see. The dead person cannot hear. The dead person cannot see, even though the organs called the eyes and the ears are intact. This shows that there is some other force because of which light the eyes are empowered to see. The ears are empowered to hear. The mind is empowered to think. The prana is empowered to function in its own spaces. So then we would conclude, okay, there might be many, many forces. Many, many forces. One force in charge of operating the eyes, one force in charge of operating the ears, another force in charge of operating the mind. This does not make sense, because we are all looking for that one source, one answer. That oneness is what attracts. That is why Advaita Vedanta is very, very pertinent to our life's goal, because everybody is craving for that oneness. So therefore, if we look at this, we see another ancient example that will make this very, very clear. You have an oil lamp, one lamp, over which a clay cover is covered, and that clay cover has, let us say, 5 apertures. This was the ancient disco, because in the dark, to make children eat their food or fall asleep, this is what the mothers and the fathers would do. They would just, there would be a base for the lamp, and they would turn the base with a cover on top. Maybe there is a small animal kind of cutout in the shape of an animal, the sun, the moon, the stars, whatever it be. And then the light streams out of this contraption over the walls and everything. And the cranky child is soothed, fed. Look, here is a moon. Do you see that? Oh, and it's going round and round. Some food goes in without even the child knowing. In the same way, the child is put to sleep. The child thinks there are many, many lights, objects made of light. There is a dog, there is a cat, there is a sun, there is a moon, there is a star, there are 5 things. But we know better. How many lights are there? 1. Only 1. Yes, that's all it is. And this is exactly what the Dakshinamurti Stotram teaches us. Nana chidra ghatodara sthita mahadeepa prabha bhaswaram jnanam yasyatu karanadvara bahispandate. 1 lamp with many holes, a cover with many holes, and the light escapes through the apertures in that particular form. And instead of the cat, the cow, the star, the sun and the moon, you think of eyes, ears. That light of awareness, that light of consciousness, the light of Atma, we can say, that lights up all the organs. The same light, just like in the example, one light lights up all the shapes and sizes. The same light lights up all the organs of perception. And you just have sight taking place with the help of that same light of consciousness, that light of knowledge, we can say, that light of awareness, that same light, a conscious, self-aware entity, that light which blesses the eyes, so to speak, to see, which blesses the ear to hear, which blesses the mind to have thoughts and to perceive, which blesses the buddhi to think properly, the same light. Just like in this child's toy example, the same light alone. But this is the light that we take for granted because it is not an object. Even though we call it light and we say it lights up, it's neither a light nor does it do anything. It is totally actionless consciousness. This actionless consciousness is myself alone, and because of this actionless consciousness, my whole world of the means of perception is lit up. My world is lit up, enabling me to see, hear, to conduct transactions, vyavahara, in this empirical world. So it's as though that this, we call it light because it has a revelatory effect. It's not really a light. Don't look for light. You won't find it. Because it brings things to light, we call it light. Just like the sun brings everything to light. If a bunch of robbers are planning to rob a bank, what does the sun do? It brings things to light. You can't take the sun to jail and say, why did you do this? No, this is what? It brings things to light. Whatever people are doing, it brings things to light. In the same way, what is this light of lights? Jyotisham api tad jyotihi. It is consciousness, Atma. And what is the meaning of the word Atma? I. This I. This self-revealing I. Self-conscious, self-revealing I alone is the light of all lights that blesses the mind to think, that blesses the eyes to see, that blesses the ear to hear, in whose presence everything comes to light. Satta spurti pradanena, by lending its existence to everything and lending its sentiency, the whole world becomes existent and sentient, Sat-Chit. And it's an unending sentiency. Therefore, it is Ananta. We call that Ananda because anything that is forever, we saw in the morning, makes me happy. Makes me very, very happy. And happy means what? Ananda. But it is endless. Ananta. Satchidananda or Satyam Jnanam Anantam, same thing. And then what do I understand? As a result of the activities of the sense organs blessed by the Atma, everything comes to light, and then I say, Janami, I know, I know, I know. But how can you say, I know, I know? There are many things I don't know. I don't know Chinese language. I don't know so many things. But then I'll ask the question, how do you know that you don't know? Huh? You say, I know that I don't know. This is the level of I know that we are talking about. It's an ontological I know. I absolutely know. And so, this way, if this is how the perception takes place, I see because of this light of consciousness, I hear because of this light of consciousness, which is myself alone. That is the truth of this I, which is invisible. We can't even say invisible. It is not an object of the sense organs. It's not an object of perception. It's not an object of inference. It is not an object at all. It is that subject because of whose presence inference can take place, perception can take place, itself cannot be perceived. Drigeva natu drishyate. The seer cannot be seen. The content, the truth of the seer cannot be seen at all. Very, very interesting, very beautiful. And understanding this is one's liberation, one's total redemption from the confusion of this I and the this. Now the I is the one that lends its light to everything, brings everything to light. And this I alone is to be understood and owned up. But there is no chance to happen. Supposing the eyes, the ears, the mind, the buddhi and the prana, let us say they were in a play. They were in a nice play. The show is over. Everybody claps. They all go away backstage. Then what happens? They like people clapping, so they come back so that people can clap some more. They come back and take a bow. They come back and take a bow, and then what happens? The eyes are there, the ears are there. They're all characters in a play. They're taking a bow. They're all just being there, taking a bow, and then they are told to shut up. Why? Ahankara, the I notion comes into the picture, the masquerader, the one who owns up everything. I. The ahankara says, all these are just because of me. Clap for me, don't clap for them. It looms over the eyes, the ears, the prana and takes the show. There is you feel there is something else behind the ahankara. It can't just be this. You crane your eyes to see. What is there behind the ahankara? Atma. This light of all lights. Invisible, that which lights up everything. But then the ahankara will not let it take any credit, so to speak. This is just a story, okay? This is just to imagine. And the Atma is hidden. The ahankara becomes the PR person for the eyes, the ears, everything. And then takes all the credit and then goes away. If the Atma had complexes like the ahankara did, then the Atma would be a very, very sad creature. Nobody loves me, nobody understands me, nobody wants to find out even who I am. It would have a series of complexes. But thankfully the Atma is Purna. Purna means complete, limitless, total, full. Without waxing and waning like the moon. Always full. So therefore, it is happy to let the ahankara, the I notion, take the credit. And then it is there in the sidelines, unrecognized, unsung. The unsung hero of the play is the Atma. Like somebody who saves the whole show and then disappears before the credits roll. This is the Atma. Atma means I. This I has to be recognized. This I has to be identified with. But this is not what we do, because there are three kinds of identifications with the body-mind sense complex. And that becomes a deterrent to identifying as the I. The first kind of identification is called a natural identification, sahaja tadatmya. A natural identification, because you see, if supposing I pinch you, who will say ow? You will say ow, not the neighbor sitting next to you. They will not say ow, you will say ow. So this way, it is this kind of association or an identification with the body is given so that one can be the managing trustee of the body and protect the body. That's why there are pain receptors. And I say, this is my body. Oh, it's hurting. Something is biting me. Something is pinching me. This is where it's hurting. I am the one who can cognize the pain, cognize the joys in the body-mind-sense complex. And then this is a natural one, natural kind of an identification. The other kind of identification is due to karma. Because we can ask a few more questions. Why am I in this body and not in some other body? Why am I born in this time and not at some other point in time? Why am I here in this country and not from some other country? All this is because there is a vast order called karma. It is pronounced karma, okay, not karma. Karma is when you have car trouble, okay, yeah. So generally, how do you say it? Karma. So this is because of karma. There is an association. There is a natural identification with a particular kind of a body because it's the residues of karma. And finally, there is one more kind of an association with the body which is due to delusion. Bhrantija tadatmya. Delusion. Delusionary kind of an association because of this particular reason that I think I am one with this cognition. That this cognition and the I cognition have conflated themselves, and that is why there is this problem. That is why there is this delusion. That is why there is confusion, sorrow, anger, fear, all these things. Now, out of these three associations, we cannot remove the first one because it is Ishvara Srishti, Ishvara's creation, God's creation. I did not make the pain receptors or any kind of sensation. I did not create that. It's already there. I was born with it. Then the second kind of association with the karma, body's karma, is also God-made, Ishvara Srishti. What about the third kind of identification? I am tall, I am fat, I am thin, I am an idiot, nobody loves me. This kind of an association, can I say it is God-made? No, because it is born of delusion, and this is the wrong association that needs to be corrected. And these 6 verses are going to help us to correct it. We'll see more in detail whenever the next one is. Is it tomorrow? I don't remember. Tomorrow morning? All right. Tomorrow evening. Yes, tomorrow evening. Thank you. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadagya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
So we'd like to thank again very much Swamini Svatmavidyananda Saraswati for this beautiful teaching. Let's give her another very big hand. And Swaminiji will continue the teachings from this text of Adi Shankaracharya, the Nirvana Shatkam, tomorrow in the evening satsang. And also tomorrow we'll be starting the midday workshops with Swaminiji. We'll have here at 12 o'clock teachings on the Bhaja Govindam as a wake-up call for self-knowledge. And then at 2 o'clock, a session of question and answers. So that will be starting tomorrow and will be like this for the several upcoming days. So now we go over the rest of the schedule for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning we'll have the morning satsang here at 6 a.m. And tomorrow as part of the morning satsang we'll be inviting the students of the February TTC to introduce themselves, to share a little bit about what they do in life and a few words about what brought them here to do the TTC. So that will be tomorrow as part of the morning satsang. Then at 8 o'clock, we'll have the yoga classes. We'll have an intermediate class on the beach, the beginner's class on the Bay West platform, and the TTCs will be here on the garden platform. 9:50 the brunch. Then tomorrow for the students of the TTC, you have a slightly unique schedule just for tomorrow. As at 10:45, we'll be having an orientation meeting in the main temple. And then the lectures tomorrow for the TTC will be at 12:30 and at 2:30. The rest of the days, it's always at 12 and 2. But just for the first day, the lectures will be at 12:30 and 2:30, all in the main temple. Then at 12 o'clock, we'll have the workshop here with Swamini Svatmavidyananda and the teachings of the Bhaja Govindam. And then at 2 o'clock, the session here of question and answers. At 4 o'clock, the yoga classes back in the same locations. 5:50, the dinner. 7 o'clock, the chanting of the Bhagavad Gita, one chapter in Sanskrit, followed by the chanting of the Hanuman Chalisa in the main temple. And then at 8 o'clock in the evening satsang, we continue the program on redefining one's identity, contemplative verses on the truth of the self from the Nirvana Shatkam with Swamini Svatmavidyananda. So now we will conclude with the final prayers and the Arati. Page 97. Om. 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 Trayambakam yajamahe sukandim pushtivadanam urvarukamiva bandanan mrityor mokshya mamritat. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sukandim pushtivadanam urvarukamiva mrityor mokshya mamritat. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sukandim pushtivadanam urvarukamiva bandanan mrityo kshyamamritat. Om Sarveshan Swastir Bhavatu Sarveshan Shantir Bhavatu Sarveshan Purnam Bhavatu Sarveshan Mangalan Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashe Dukavad Bhavet Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purna Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. The universal prayer by Swami Shivananda. O adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto Thee. Thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Thou art Satchid Ananda, O art existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. Thou art the indweller of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us a spiritual strength to resist temptations and control the mind. Free us from egoism, lust, anger, greed, hatred, and jealousy, and fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us behold Thee in all these names and forms. Let us serve Thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember Thee. Let us ever sing Thy glories. Let Thy name be ever on our lips. Let us abide in Thee forever and ever. Om Bolo Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Bolo Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Please stand up for the Arati. You're welcome to follow on page 118.
Om Jai Jarati Vinna Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jai Jarati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jai Jarati Venugopala Venugopala Venulola Papa Vidura Navanita Chora Jai Jarati Venkataraman Venkataramana Sangataharana Sitarama Radheshyama Jai Jarati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Shankara Samba Sada Shiva Uma Maheshwara Jai Jarati Rajarajeshwari Rajarajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Jai Jarati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumantaha Jai Jarati Dattatreya Dattatreya Trimurti Avatara Jai Jarati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jai Jarati Shanishwaraya Shanishwaraya Bhaskaraya Jai Jarati Shankaracharya Shankaracharya Advaita Gurave Jai Jarati Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jai Jarati Vishnu Devananda Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jai Jarati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shri Rama Priyaye Jai Jarati Ayyappa Swami Ayyappa Swami Dharma Shastave Jai Jarati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jai Jarati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nana Gurave Samastarevyo Namaha Jai Jarati Venugopala Om Natatra Suryabhati Nachandatarakam Nema Vidyotabanti Katoya Magnihi Tam eva bantamanabhati sarvam tasya bhasa saredam vibhati Om Gange Yamune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Namastavyam Namo Namaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva bandhusya saka Tvameva Tvameva vidya dravinam Tvameva Meva sarva mama deva deva Kayena vacha manasendriyarava Buddhiyan manava prakriti swabhavan Karomi adiyat sakalam parasmahi Narayana iti samarpayami Sarvadharmam parityaja Mamekam sharanam vraja Aham tva sarva papebhyo Mokshayishami mahasucha. Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you very much, everybody at home, for joining us for this beautiful evening satsang. Have a good night and sleep well. Everybody here, make sure to take prasad before you leave. Please help us in tidying up the satsang hall and taking all the green cushions to the back. Have a good night, sleep well. Om.